Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and today I am looking at something called Atom Smasher, a game where you build particle accelerators. It's an early prototype by a guy called Craig Perko, who is quoted as saying he's kind of bored of shooty games. He also has another prototype called For Science, so you can see that I like his ideas. It's an interesting game, I guess. I'm not sure it really qualifies as a game just yet, but never mind. You can pretend to be Michio Kaku, right? Who, of course, famously built a particle accelerator in his basement before he was the talking head on every single scientific science documentary. Okay, so I'm just going to start building out a collider. I've started on level 3 here, and what you have to do is accelerate things, right? And so you accelerate things using klystrons. Klystrons are essentially things that use microwave cavities that when the electrons enter them, the waves kind of naturally give them a big push because the particles are charged, and microwaves are electromagnetic fields, right? They're waves, basically, oscillating electromagnetic fields. So you have this kind of thing at the end, which is your particle source. I guess you can toggle this on and off. I'm not sure it really matters. It might matter at some point, but you can see I have all these plugs and things. This is the equivalent of like the wall strip, the surge protector that I've plugged everything into, daisy chaining my particle system off of this. This is a sensor rig because the sensors are needed. This klystron needs an input of energy data, and the sensor rig gives us energy data. There we go. Now you'll see that what happens with these cables is they go up to the top, and then the last one that went up is the first one that comes down, right? So this blue one is the last one to go up, goes across here and comes down, and it says, oh wait, this is energy data, we need power. Okay, so what I can do is take this power cable and put it up, it goes up, and then we need a blue one, and it's good because the blue one's sitting on the bottom. This is essentially operating as a stack. If you're into computer science, you'll know exactly what a stack is, right? And half the puzzle is manipulating the stack correctly. Okay, so you'll also see there's two groups. There's wires and there's pipes. Pipes give you cooling liquids. You have glycol or water or liquid nitrogen. So this klystron is amplifying my particle beam up to 250 mega electron volts. It's also warming up the water, but I'm returning the water to the system so we can use it on the next stage. So again, I need another sensor rig because I need another of these energy outputs, and we'll extend it and insert another surge klystron. There are various klystrons you will find within the game, and they will get better and better, and they'll have more features. Okay, 375 mega electron volts, we're going to need more. An electron volt is a unit of energy that's used in particle physics. Sometimes you will actually express particle masses as electron volts. That's derived from E equals mc squared, so you know the mass of the particle, therefore you know how much energy is used to create it. So you'll find that masses of the Higgs boson is quoted in giga electron volts, and you know what? I can't remember off the top of my head the mass of any particles. I feel really embarrassed at that. Okay, but we've got one more klystron here. We have 438 mega electron volts. Now we can put in our target. It is a lead collider. And a lead collider, it needs glycol to cool it. Oh great, and that's the pipe that's there. We've got our heavy duty power, and we should just run our test. Run test. Success! And we see particles shooting out everywhere and irradiating me. Thankfully, we have no need to deal with unforeseen consequences. Okay, geothermal facility. Masters of heat transfer in the underground. They would like to master high energy physics. Magma Mate Industries. We're inspired by your progress. Please use our expertise in thermal transfer to keep more powerful klystrons and colliders cold. We'll add your name to the white paper. Okay, so we'll extend this a little more because we're going to need to bore out this tunnel to build this. You'll notice we're going in a straight line. This is a linear accelerator, SLHC. That sounds like, Stanford Linear Accelerator, Stanford Linear Hadron Collider, I don't know. The Stanford Linear Accelerator is pretty near to me and is in fact the most powerful linear accelerator in the world. Obviously, you've probably heard of CERN, right? That's the Large Hadron Collider. Now, the Large Hadron Collider generates energies of, they're aiming it to get it up to 14 tera electron volts, right? But they haven't reached that yet. Now, the Stanford Linear Accelerator doesn't get anywhere near that, so one might wonder why the Large Hadron Collider hasn't rendered something like Stanford, redundant. And part of the reason is the ones where they are running in a loop, right? That's essentially like a linear accelerator wrapped into a loop, and you have magnets to keep bending the particles to keep them running in a circle. Okay, we've got power coming out of this. That's good. So, we're trying to get up to 800. So we can't just put in this 1970s klystron because there's a minimum energy. It says we need to have them at least 400 mega electron volts. So we're going to have to put in more sensors first. Okay. You can see that the puzzle part of this is extremely limited at this time. Once you get some of once you master the stack, it becomes pretty obvious how to do this. The limitations with the stack is you can only do operations on the stack in certain locations. If there's a way to add or remove something, you can't put anything, you can't manipulate the stack. So you sometimes have to set and manipulate your stack to put everything in the right configuration before you get to it. Before you exploit it. In that way, it's rather like computer security. Or hacking, right? Okay, or writing exploits. Okay, so we're now up to 375. We're going to need another one of these sensor rigs. So anyway, the reason why Large Hadron Collider hasn't rendered the Stanford Linear Accelerator and similar linear accelerators redundant is linear accelerators are actually somewhat better at lower mass particles such as electrons, because electrons they emit energy when they're being accelerated, and the energy they emit is proportional to their charge. So for an electron, when they're very light, their charge is the same as a proton, but the energy they'll emit is the same. So they will lose energy a lot faster. So the way to get around this, of course, is you use a linear accelerator. Linear accelerators are much better than synchrotrons. Synchrotrons, when they're pushing particles around in a circle, the particles are accelerated and they emit what is called synchrotron radiation, appropriately enough. Okay, so now I need to do my sensor rig and one of these 1970s klystrons. We're trying to get up to 800 mega electron volts. We're still not getting anywhere near the energies we need. So we put in glycol and we're up to 708. Okay, so next step along, we're going to need another sensor and another one of these. These energies, I should point out, are too low to generate any of those crazy hazards that you might have read about in the press. We're not going to generate black holes. And I should also point out that even if we did generate black holes in a particle collider, it's unlikely they would destroy the Earth, because Hawking radiation would make them evaporate beforehand. Many people still persist. There's someone that keeps on trying to sue the, Large Hadron Collider to shut it down because he thinks it's going to destroy the world. I'm not sure he's the most qualified person to talk about it, since he is clearly biased. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to pull... Oh, look, there's space here. I can pull this off the stack. Water plug in the way. There we go. Pull the cable down, so the red cable is running underneath all of this. And as we get up here, I can now I can pop the red cable back in so it's on the front. Oh, and the glycol coming out of this is too hot, and so I can't run the test. Okay. So, yes, despite, on paper, you have a minuscule chance of producing a black hole. Okay, so I need a water supply. Shoot. Where can I get cold water from? probably... Wait a second. I could probably take the water from this. Okay, let's take this water and the water here. Hold on. Ah, wait, we need to swap this. The water needs to go... I need to pull the pipe so it's out of the way. That's glycol, glycol. And yeah, take the output from this. Okay. And now I can pull the pipe. Oh, wait a second. I need to attach this glycol. Oh no, I don't need to pull the pipe. I need to pop the pipe. That's what I need to do. So the pipe is running along there. Now when I take the output here, the glycol should come in first, and then the water comes in. Sweet. And now we should have sweet, sweet glycol, chilled glycol coming out. 293 Kelvin. That should be cold enough. Once again, let's put in this lead collider. Now, yeah, we know that the black holes aren't going to destroy the world because, as it turns out, we have the energies produced in particle colliders are actually kind of tiny compared to... I'm going to disconnect them. They're actually really tiny compared to the energies of naturally occurring cosmic rays. So, if a black hole produced in a particle collision was going to destroy the Earth, it would have probably happened a lot more by now. I mean, if you look at it, the energies from cosmic rays are millions, if not billions, of times more energetic. Like, the energies from some of these things are unimaginably huge. So they shouldn't, you know, if there was going to be a black hole produced in a particle collision, they would have probably done it by now. Okay, so we need to work on the quadrupoles. I just want to see how these things work. Okay, so quadrupole is a new thing, which is a focuser. It can't reasonably get lower. It doesn't. I'm just going to put this thing in. So this is a quadrupole magnet is used for focusing. So it says from pipe 0. So that's actually, we need energy data and deviation and power. Okay. And it says, energy cannot be gathered too close to start of accelerator. Okay, that's what it's telling me, so I'll need to find some other things. I guess there's some minimum distance right now. Deviation cannot be gathered too close to the surface. You know what? First thing, how about I just put in a 4-wire cabinet, just, you know, for fun's sake. And we'll change this, and then we'll put in the sensor rig and just see what it says. I'm trying to figure out how this quadrupole works. Stock, once again, hook these things up. Now, by now, I bet you there are some smart arses out there who are saying, wait, okay, look, data expected from pipe -1, expected from pipe -2. Okay, so there's some magic numbers for when these things should happen. Okay, well, let's just put in the glycol klystron here. And we don't need this. We need that. We need the glycol. We've got that going in. And we need to tune this down to 400. Okay, we're getting that started. Extend, glycol klystron. And we can take the output from this, the output from this, and that should be good. Beam is too slow. That's okay. Because the energy, this energy of the particles is directly, you know, a function of their velocity, of the particle's velocity. Okay, so the yellow needs to come in first, so I need to do a swap here. So I need to pull the yellow cable out and then pop it back in. And now everything's in the right order once again. Energy data out, glycol out. It's probably too hot by now. We'll change, we'll put in the glycol klystron. And it doesn't say we're too hot just yet. Let's pull the cable and then pop it back on. So yeah, I bet, as I was saying, I bet there's some people who are saying, wait a second, I've read about this black hole thing, and the experts have talked about this, have written off one very important fact. In the Large Hadron Collider, the particles collide head-on, which means the resulting particle collisions are actually quite low velocity, right? Because they're cancelling out their velocity. I mean, they're still moving at practically the speed of light, but they're slower than what would happen with a cosmic ray coming in and, smashing into the Earth. Okay, let's try one of these. Another glycol energy data. I think we probably, the glycol's too hot. Oh, it's still allowing us 380k. Okay, let's pull the cable. Pull cable and pop it back in. So there's an argument that says, well, wait a second, these cosmic rays will produce black holes, but the black holes will be moving so fast they will shoot off into space and we'll never see them, and they'll evaporate in deep space away from the matter of the Earth. Whereas the ones in the Hadron Collider will be moving slowly, and therefore they will fall into the center of the Earth and destroy the planet eventually. And that is a somewhat smart argument, but it ignores the fact that if a cosmic ray were to hit a white dwarf, then the white dwarf matter is so much denser, the black hole that was produced would interact with more material and therefore would quickly destroy the white dwarfs. And so we would see these things getting wiped out. If you do the mathematics, it turns out that this is what would happen. I did the wrong thing here. I'm going to pop that back on. This is what happens when you try to talk about crazy conspiracy theories with people that don't actually understand what they're talking about. I don't need this here, detach. Okay, we got more glycol here. Okay, now we're up to 1300 mega electron volt. Actually, we're up to 1250. I don't know why I bothered to do that. I should just change this to a basic quadrupole. And again, this is what happens when you start talking about these things and you don't think about these things. Okay, we need to get our energy deviation in and everything. So, energy deviation is here. Let's pop that up. And then we should pull... we've got to pull the cable, and then we got to exchange, and that means that we've got this blue cable sitting along here that can run all the way, and now we'd like it to come back into everything here. So what we want to do is pop it. Oh wait, these are backwards. And here we should disconnect. What we should do, is it there? Exchange? No, that's not good. Oh, wait a sec. Can I get... I've only got 2 spots here to fix this. I guess what I could do is exchange, and then that puts these on. Okay, and then I should disconnect this particular one. Disconnect. And I'm still not doing this right, am I? Okay, disconnect. Okay, what have we got? So we need to pop this, which is blue, and then pop this here. There we go. We have yellow, and then it says, deviation expected from pipe -5, expected from pipe -6. Okay, and this one says deviation expected from pipe -1, expected from pipe -2. Oh, so I just need to move this thing up. I need to change it to a copper pipe, and then we'll extend it one more level, and we'll have our basic quadrupole, which should help us with our focusing. Now what does it say? Deviation is now reduced, and our energy is still good, so it's... yeah, we're cool. We've got our energy. We just need to pop in our target, right? A pinhole collider. Run. Okay, now we just need to put a red cable in. So we should probably go back, and we could unplug some yellow things, but we could just pull cable. Oh no, wait a second. This is not gonna. No, let's pop this. Hold on. Pop. Disconnect. 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 We don't need that. Where can we put our yellow? We've got an excess of yellow cables here. That's the problem. We have three, is it two? No, we have two excess yellow cables here. So I just need to run back and unplug two of these yellow cables here. So yeah, anyway, the whole like black holes destroying the Earth as a result of particle physics has been debunked in many, many ways. And we shouldn't be worried about it too much. Okay, glycol. No inputs. Oh wait, glycol. Oh, we still have a spare one here. Oh dear. Let's just pull that yellow cable out of the way. There we go. That's a little better. Are we okay? Deviation 10 to the -5. Collision data. Output. Ooh, detached. Oh wait, we have collision data. I wonder what I can do with that. Let's run the test. It won't turn on! Why won't it turn on? Is there a pinhole collider? Is there something I'm missing? What do I do with collision data? I'm not seeing it. I'm focusing the deep beam down. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to put copper pipe in here. I wonder if I have to detach my collision data to make it turn on. Run the test. Success! Ah, the beams are zapping me. Okay, well, there we go. That's an epic creation. And I'm not going to bother with level 7, because level 7 is just going to be more of the same complexity. Yeah, so this is Atom Smasher. Technically, most colliders these days aren't actually Atom Smashers. There are a few Atom Smashers, but most things are actually just shooting hadrons at each other, for example, the large hadron collider. Atom Smashers would imply atomic nuclei, and there are atomic nuclei based accelerators, and those do epic stuff, but most of them aren't linear accelerators because it's more efficient to use linear accelerators for lighter particles. So yeah, it's from Craig Perko. Go and check it out if you are a nerd. There is another interesting game for science, might be worth looking at, who knows. I'm Scott Manley, fly safe.